Hello and welcome to For the Love of Crits. I am level 1 DM, Hunter. Thank you again for joining our playthrough of Curse of Strahd as we journey into the mist of Barovia. We last left our hubbub of holy men as they were entering the gates of Barovia. We do have a short synopsis of what happened in case you didn't tune in last time.
Greetings,
I'm not
weary
sure how to find
travelers. I bring to you today the harrowing tale of four clergy, beset by trials in the land of Barovia. Guided by visions, each of the four holy men made their way to the town of Daggerford, to the Nightmare's stable. Meeting in the somewhat morose atmosphere of the tavern, the group decided to investigate the Vistani. The Vistani bade them welcome, gave them drink, and danced the night away. They welcomed the clergy, as they had been ordered to, by their people's leader, a one Madame Eva. The leader of the camp, Stanimir, told the group a story of a prince, whom the Vistani once aided and protected from his enemies. The prince promised that the Vistani would always be welcome in his home, and they would be free to come and go as they wish. The prince ruled over a mysterious valley called Barovia. However, these Vistani were not allowed into Barovia by their very own leader, Madame Eva. She had ordered them to wait here for the group of clergy, and they happily obliged, as they saw it as a way to earn their way back into her good graces. Trepidatious though they were, the group decided to investigate this Madame Eva, as she seemed to have some insight into their individual motivations. After everyone rested for the night, they headed out to the gates of Barovia. The headless guardians loomed over the gates as the clerics proceeded. But a loud clang rang out in the night, as the gates slammed themselves shut behind the group, who now found themselves...
When we last left, as you know, we had just arrived at the gates of Barovia. The group had passed through, and the gates closed, leaving a deadening silence in its wake, no longer surrounded by the bustling of the Vistani or the other companions that they'd had along the way. Let me bring you guys over back to the gates of Barovia.
Oh, that's right. We just went through.
Yes.
Ookie.
You guys are looking around. Fog is spilling out from the forest and swallowing up the road behind you. Jetting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road are high stone buttresses looming in the gray fog, towering trees whose tops are lost in the heavy mist, block out all but a death gray light. And the tree trunks are naturally close to one another. In the woods, the silence of a forgotten grave, suiting the feeling of unvoiced screams. The gates have now closed behind you, seemingly of their own accord.
Great.
Oh, that can't be good.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
So much for leave whenever we want.
right? I would
Well.
probably have my Warhammer out, kinda scanning the vicinity, thinking from my past experiences, this is a trap. We're screwed.
Yeah, I definitely have my lantern out, holding up, looking around.
Ugh. This is certainly not good. I'll pull out my hammer and my shield.
As you guys are looking around, you don't hear the typical wildlife you could hear. The only wildlife you are hearing is the constant cawing of ravens. But you're not actually really seeing them. You assume that they would be hiding within the trees.
Well, as creepy as this is, we stay here, we're just sitting ducks.
Yeah, no going back at this point, so.
So,
Oh, are you sure? Perhaps we could undo the hinges or something.
We haven't even tried the door.
Yes. I
Canard's just gonna take
look.
a... Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, we got to Barovia. Frig this, we're going home.
So you guys approach the gate, and you're able to look through where you had just been walking through. The gates are sturdy, and the design appears to be old, but they don't seem to necessarily be touched by the rust of time. As you look through the bars of the gate, you can't see the road beyond. Instead, it's actually just a white wall of mist.
Oh.
Hmm.
That's odd. Was it that moist before?
I mean, it was misty, but not quite that much. Are you sure that it was only a day to get here?
Yes, I'm sure.
Hmm.
I'll jiggle the lock. Or just try to see if it opens. Just
As you jiggle
barely.
it's very solid. It's hard for you to even shake it.
Provide
Can
you
you,
with like some light from my lantern if you need a closer look.
yeah, can you roll me a perception check really quick, Herbert?
Okay. Perception.
Oof.
Not great.
Hellspire
Nine.
loving our rolls.
I know, it seems like our luck has not changed since last time.
Oh,
So 9 on perception.
Okay. As Graves walks forward with the lantern, and when you look back towards the gate, it appears that the distance between the gate and the wall of mist is now shorter.
Oh, perhaps we should get moving.
Is it just
Yeah,
me?
I think
Or is the fog getting thicker out here? You hear from behind you.
let's find some civilization, I suppose.
they said that the town is about a day's journey, but about an hour or so before we'd run into a farmhouse. I guess we'd better start moving then. Unless you want to camp in these woods.
Yeah, it's only a few hours, I suppose. It would be much safer.
We didn't do much throughout the day, so I doubt any of us are really too tired.
And I don't think I want to camp so closely to this magic door that just closed behind us of its own whim.
Yes.
I agree with you, Carnareth.
Mm-hmm. Might as well.
No time like now! Whee!
Nowhere to go but forward.
Now, from this point, I'm not going to make you guys bounce the entire way down the road for the next few hours. So we are going to be kind of switching to Theater of the Mind from this point for a short while. As you guys are walking, the road feels very much the same as when you had first arrived there.
Oh.
Black pools of water standing like dark mirrors all around the muddy roadway, and the giant trees looming on both sides. The branches kind of clawing at the mist as you are traveling through. As you're going along the road, the silence starts to become almost deafening. The amount of crows that have been cawing are now less. You faintly hear the insects in the surrounding forest, but it almost feels as if you're being watched silently rather than them voicing their presence. With you guys all being clerics, I'm not actually sure who has the highest passive perception, or do you all have equal?
Not me.
I'm at a 13.
Same.
15.
Oh.
Graves it is.
Well,
It's that lantern.
Graves has the highest passive perception?
Mhm.
Okay.
I assume I'm the only one that took proficiency in it then.
Graves, as you are walking along, you suddenly catch a smell that is very familiar to you. You catch the scent of death upon the air. The amount of ravens that are now cawing has increased. The foul scent leads you to its source. You see off of the main road about 15 feet the body of a young man who appears to be a commoner. His muddy clothes are torn and raked with claw marks. Crows have obviously been at the body, which is surrounded by paw prints. The paw prints appear larger than most dogs that you've seen. The man has obviously been dead for several days based upon the smell. He holds a crumpled envelope in one hand. What do you do?
Friends, what do you make of this? And I'll lead them over. From the smell of the decay, this man has been here for a few days. I'm quite familiar with dead bodies in my line of work. Here, look at this. Now I'll pick up the letter from his hands, I guess.
Okay.
He has this, as well as these strange prints. What do you make of those?
I'm gonna, if I can, just do a quick Arcana check.
Okay,
on
yeah.
it.
What
We're in
are
a
you,
magical forest and there's dead things, so I just want to see if I sense any incantation on this body,
Okay, yeah.
basically. I was planning on doing that before he touched the note, but we'll just say that I did it after. A whopping
Yeah.
11.
What do you make of this, Knaff, while Graves looks at the note and asks Conair to look at the surrounding areas?
So I will upload the note so you can read it. I am going to be reading it out loud. So with all of the handouts, I am going to be reading them out loud. So we are kind of on the same page. So we don't have to wait silently while everyone reads it.
And that means for those at home, if you join our Discord link in the descriptions, you can see him in the handouts channel.
As far as magic goes, you do not sense any form of magic upon this body. You believe that he was killed by physical means rather than magical. Graves, as you open the letter, you see in handwritten note, and it says this: "Hail thee of might and valor. I, the burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair Irina Kolyana, has been these past nights bitten by a vampire. For over 600 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. Now, my dear Irina anguishes and dies from an unholy wound caused by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer, so I say to you, give us up for dead and encircle this land with symbols of good. Let holy men call their power, that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves, and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we are all departed for a better life. Kolyan Indirovich."
Bone chili.
Seems there's a powerful vampire in these lands.
I have never seen one myself. Only rumors.
I cannot recall ever encountering one myself either. But in my studies with Torin of Pharasma and the undead and how to combat them, vampires are ones that have come up as one of the more dangerous.
But, I mean, look at these prints. Are vampires canine in form? I mean...
Not that I have ever heard of. I feel as if these prints might not be the vampires doing. Or at least not directly.
And I'm
And
scared of the size of wolves that are in these woods. What else is huge here?
Whatever it was, it
Excellent
seems like it
question.
stopped him from making his way with this message far enough, because I don't remember seeing any holy symbols on the way in.
Yes, I didn't bring enough with me to do all that.
Lucky for them we are. Clergy, though, we may be able to help.
I will kneel down at that and instantly, trace in the mud the holy symbol of Akkadi.
It may be prudent to give this man a proper burial.
In
I
the
suppose.
distance, you hear a wolf howl.
I thought that's
I
what I
heard
heard.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or
Good.
join the chorus. It sounds like more wolves are adding their voice to the howling.
Well,
The
friends,
sound is progressively getting closer.
Alright, keep your wits about you, friend.
I'm gonna climb a tree.
Okay, you don't seriously expect to stay here, do you?
Nope.
I mean,
But I have ranged abilities, and
I-
last thing that I saw, the last town I was in, Fluffy couldn't climb the tree, so this might be similar. I mean, wolves and dogs are the same, right?
Roll me a perception.
but what if they're so big they could reach the top of the trees?
This prince appear larger than normal.
While this is
Let's
happening,
try
I'm
this
gonna
again.
cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Oh,
I'm gonna see what spells I have prepared.
oh, let's try this again. Because
If that's all right, DM.
I might do the same.
Oh, my dice just went away. So 13 for perception.
Okay. With a 13, you do see off in the distance over here moving shapes.
I will point them out and get into a readied position. I'd probably prep. Instead of my Warhammer, knowing that dogs are quicker than me, I'd probably stow that, take out my shield, and just prep a spell, like Sacred Flame.
Okay. And as you are going, this dire wolf sprints from out of the forest. It's massive. It gets to the edge of the road and stops.
Oh. And doesn't, move forward?
It is growling. It is pawing the ground, and it keeps kind of moving forward and then jumping back at the edge of the road.
What?
This cannot be the only one.
Are there any markings around the side of the road or anything like that?
Like, what type
Like-
of markings? Or like
maybe
incantations? Or
Like sigils or something like that. Maybe
you do
some
not
sort of
see
writing?
one.
Huh.
This direwolf is kind of pacing back and forth on the edge of the road.
And was the guy that we found on the road or off the side of the road?
About 15 feet off to the side.
Off.
So is it our understanding that the direwolf either doesn't notice us or isn't concerned with us at the moment?
It was more so that he does see you guys there. It was more so that because your tokens hadn't been off to the side of the road, I assumed that you guys had moved back
Yeah.
when you heard the wolves.
It seems that perhaps it cannot enter the road.
That's so strange.
Graves,
Yes.
you have the highest passive perception. You no
Yes.
longer see the gates behind you, but it's just a wall of white mist.
Friends, the gates are gone. The mist is also enclosing on us quickly.
The wolves don't seem like they can enter the road. We might as well follow the road where it's leading. I mean, we all came here for answers, right?
Yes, I suggest we keep an eye on the wolves as we go, just in case. Still keep yourself ready.
Oh, most certainly.
I have so many more questions now. The beast that subscribes itself to some sort of a boundary is so strange. So strange indeed.
You're more than welcome to go talk to it. I'm not
Maybe
leaving the road.
I'll ask the locals. That's all right.
There's a lot of strangeness going on. I'll keep an eye on the right if you want to divvy up, and maybe keep an eye on the left, and we'll just make our way out.
Yes, I can keep an eye forward, and then I suppose whichever one of you can keep an eye behind.
I'd also encourage a brisk pace, maybe?
Yes.
I second that motion.
Very well, let's continue. I'll take the rear.
I got the
I'll keep
left.
that.
And don't leave the road.
Don't leave
Yes.
the road. So,
If I see any turns ahead, I will let you know.
If you see any more dead bodies, leave them alone.
yes. I was going to
Yes.
say, at what point do we... I mean, I guess when we come across them, we'll have to decide then, but there might be something that we should go investigate off the road.
As you guys are traveling along the road, while this is a road, it is hard walking. You are not able to make quick work of it. You have to constantly watch your footing as there are many potholes. It doesn't appear that this has been upkept in any way as a typical road would be. The mist continued to hold on with tenacity, and as you move forward, you have a constant follower of the wall of mist behind you,
Oh boy.
always staying about 50 to 100 feet behind you.
Herbert is really fighting the urge to go investigate, to be honest. It's very, very curious.
What type of thing is watching us that can keep the mist at a constant distance? It's like it's ushering us in.
That letter did say that this vampire has been around for over 600 years. And vampires, from my understanding, are quite powerful and resourceful creatures.
Oh. I mean, I knew they bit people, but that's about all I know.
If I
Super strong and stuff, and they're really fast.
I believe so. I'm not the most up to date on them. I believe they're much more dangerous as well because of their cunning. Yet I'm not gonna assume I know all about vampires because
You likely would know very little about vampires. It wasn't really a part of your teaching, other than the fact that you do know that they are undead, and your god does not like the undead. That would kind of be the extent of your knowledge, and that the general knowledge that they drain people's blood.
Could I roll history to see if I know like any specifics about vampires?
You can. It would actually probably be more so Arcana, religion, or history.
Okay, I'll consult my religious texts.
I would likely do the same if that's all right, because
I'm okay with everyone kind of making a roll to see exactly what is going on.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like, it is specifically undead, which I would have learned about. I rolled a 21.
Okay, 21 for Graves. It was an 18 for Panera.
Yep.
And a Herbert rolled a 13. Okay, so Herbert.
Sorry, it was a 9.
Oh, a
Wait,
9.
no.
Oh.
It was a 7. My bad.
Most of your study was focused upon the creation and the forging of things. So you didn't really necessarily look into like aberrations or undead. So you aren't really aware of anything aside from the general knowledge of vampires, that they drain people's blood, that they don't like the sunlight, that type of things, mixed with rumors, some mixed with truth, but you can't necessarily separate the two all the time. Conereth, you would know a little bit more, just knowing that vampires are definitely immortal. They have made pacts of some kind, similar to what a cleric would make, but not necessarily with a god. Then for Graves, you would have the extra knowledge that vampires can't be killed normally. There is specific ways to kill them, but you can't recall the exact ways. You just know that you can't just kill them like you would a beast.
Mm-hmm.
And then anyone that was higher up, you also know the knowledge that the people lower than you knew.
They're incredibly difficult to kill form of undead. Exactly how, I'm not sure, but not by normal means. Didn't really expect to be running into one.
True. Well, let's see where this road goes. I don't think we're going out the way we came in. We're definitely not leaving the road. And if we face a vampire right off, I'm not sure we're going to survive, but we can try. And maybe this road leads to something that will inform us how to kill the thing, since you said there's specific ways.
Yes, hopefully.
Perhaps this Madame Eva will have some answers for us.
Oh, that's right. We must speak with Madame Eva.
Perhaps this Burgermeister will know more as well, but from the fact that he says that it's become too powerful to kill, I don't think he'll know how to kill this thing, struggling with it for 600 years, yet still have more information than us.
I'm also curious how our destinies are intertwined with the prince, as the Vistani had said.
As you are talking, you kind of look towards the sky for
Oh,
comfort,
no.
looking for the telltale signs of the stars and the moon to tell you that your goddess is with you. As you look at the sky, you see that the entire sky is covered in clouds, blocking out any view of the sun, moon, or stars.
Yeah, I do not like this place. At this point, his pace quickens. He doesn't know if this is leading him out or deeper in, but he just needs to go somewhere. So he's not like running, but he's just walking very briskly.
Oh, I guess he either saw something or he's getting scared. We gotta keep up, boys.
I'll happily match his pace.
Yes. The sense of dread that I felt about this place. I see no reason for it to not be warranted.
As you guys are traveling along, the mist behind you keeps its steady pace, never faltering to move. The few times that one of you lags behind, the mist stops, not moving, just waiting for you to move forward. The trees slowly begin to thin as you feel you are getting towards the edge of the wood. Opening ahead of you, you see that the ground is mostly covered in a sturdy grass that is able to survive despite the toughest conditions. The land around you, though covered in mist, is actually fairly easy to see. The mist almost providing you light. As you go along, you see short, rolling hills without much blocking it. You can't see far in the distance, but you see that the road continues despite the woods ceasing.
Are the dire wolves still following?
Roll me a perception check.
Can I pray for some guidance?
Of course.
You roll that with a d4.
Also, apologies earlier. My perception is also 13, not 15. I was looking at my passive insight. So I am tied with the others. That is my apologies. 10 on the roll.
You haven't heard a wolf howl in a while. As you look far off in the distance, you do feel like things are moving through the mist, but you can't tell if they are wolves or something else.
Something still follows us.
Have we heard any wolves recently?
No.
Okay.
Once you guys kind of backed away and kept moving along the road, the wolves went more silent.
Perfect. Alright, well. At least we're not in deep woods anymore, guys. I'm starting to feel slightly better about this.
At least we have a little bit more sight, but it also makes us easier to spot as well.
I mean, that's true, but that also means that others are easier to spot coming at us.
That is also true. While we're a little more exposed, it's not as unknowing. We have a little more knowledge.
Fenrith has to stop walking. Until he reaches whatever end of this road there is, he's just going.
I feel like it's like a given that you guys are just not stopping walking unless you specifically state otherwise. Is that correct?
He's not talking. He's not. His focus is on being not where he is.
I think Herbert is kind of the same. He's very much, his eyes are darting around and he's just trying to keep an eye out for any sort of movement anywhere. So he's not much for conversation.
Graves is a slightly more talkative, but you can still see he still looks very nervous and agitated as he's at the front of the lantern up, just eyes darting back and forth to the sides and the head.
Onyx, he isn't showing any nervousness or anything. He is eyes darting, keeping, he's very vigilant and taking in the surroundings as well as, lines of sight. Oh, there's a hill over there and things like that. But overall, he's not showing the nervousness that all the others are.
Now, you guys can't really tell exactly how long has passed. It's been pretty stressful. You're constantly feeling like you're having to look over your shoulder, watching for wolves, and many of you almost feel like you want to jump out of your skin whenever you hear insects nearby or a crow cawing. What was your passive perception, Herbert?
12.
Okay, so everyone has a 13, then you have a 12.
Mhm.
Okay, that makes it easy to remember.
My passive investigation is 15, though.
Nice.
That's good to know. As you are walking along, you hear the cawing of crows in the distance, and you hear once more that lonely howl of a wolf in the distance.
Is it behind us, off to the side, or in front?
It sounds like it's in front and to the right of the road. All four of you look up as it's the first wolf howl you've heard in some hours. You glance and you see upon a knoll in the distance a wolf that's probably about half again the size of the wolf you saw earlier, sitting and watching. It is just sitting there on this knoll, probably about 200 feet away. It's not moving. You don't see any other wolves around it. And it just passively sits there as you guys walk along the road.
Graves definitely keeps his lantern up in his other hand, nearby his lantern ready for if anything happens.
I keep darting my eyes over to him, but I'm still confident about this road right now.
Okay. Now,
As
is
the
anyone
promise.
watching the wolf constantly? Or are you guys...
Graves would be pretty constantly, like he'd still, be watching where he's going enough to walk that direction. But he's probably nervous enough about it that he is keeping an eye on it pretty constantly.
Herbert has target locked on it as a source of danger, so he's keeping an eye on it.
Eyes on the prize. Quinarith is squinting to the end of that road looking for something other than more road.
Okay. As you guys are staring at this wolf, you suddenly hear another wolf howl to your left, much closer than the previous one.
Ooh, I snapped my head.
Graves and Herbert, are you going to continue watching the main wolf, or are you going to turn towards the new sound?
I feel like Graves would probably snap his head to the new sound pretty quickly.
If I roll an even, I'll keep looking at the main wolf. Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Roll me a
hyper-focused.
wisdom saving throw.
Oh, Oh boy. All right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. I got you.
First roll is not just a skill check.
Tonight, 15?
Ah,
Not bad, not bad.
15?
Okay, you are able to keep your composure and keep watching this wolf.
Frightening.
For the other three, you guys glance back and see a small pack of wolves, these ones smaller than the main wolf, off in the distance, and they kind of run away as they are going, leaving you alone. When you glance back, the wolf that had been watching you so closely is gone. However, Herbert, you see what happens. As you're watching, this wolf doesn't walk away, but rather it turns to mist. Its eyes remaining there slightly longer with a red hue, and the mist moves deeper and disappears.
What in the nine hells? What is this place?
Well,
What do you mean? It just ran off, right?
it looks like it's
No.
gone.
It vanished. Like it became one with the mist. Oh, it's
That tends to happen.
eyes.
Do you mean
As-
figuratively or literally?
No. It's like it dissolved, like you drop a tablet in water and it just ooh.
That tends to happen when you lose sight or it fades off into the mist.
I was very acutely staring at it. I'm very sure of what I saw. Oh boy.
I think
Well,
you should
believe
join
me or not.
Conareth up front, and let's get to the end of this road. I think your nerves are playing with you.
Speaking of Conareth, as you are squinting very fixedly on the distance in the road, you see the outline of what appears to be a large building up ahead.
Oh, thanks, Celian. There's some form of shelter up there.
I will immediately snap my head to where Conareth was saying and catch right up to Conareth, and alright, let's go.
As you're walking, you see about 100 feet ahead of you what appears to be a low wall, probably about 6 to 7 feet. It is surrounding a large building, probably about 50 feet away from the road, maybe more. And you hear another noise, something that is very different from what you've been hearing in the silence of the past hours. You hear the sound of a child crying. It sounds like it's actually ahead of you on the road. The road itself goes along, and to the right side of the road is what looks like a small manor. As you get closer, the mist dissipates, you being able to see through it more clearly, and it is a simple, small wall surrounding what looks like a farmhouse. A large one, but you expect this is the farmhouse that Stanimir had mentioned.
I'm hearing a crying child.
Yes,
Like a child or a baby?
a child.
The three of you hear an exasperated sigh in your heads. It's kind of confusing, like it catches you off guard because you would assume that's something you would only hear coming from someone's mouth. But like you hear it in your head as though like, yeah, Conareth looking down the road is like, I know that it's probably some form of just villainous trap going on up there, but I just can't not see what's going on. If there's a child up there, actually.
It is forward regardless. We have to go. And if there is a child, we should likely help them, but I would not be surprised if it is something more sinister.
Well, I wouldn't also mind staying at this farmhouse and hoping to see that this mist breaks up, but at the same time, this might also just be an enchantment and it might always stay night here. I can't even tell what time of day it is because the clouds are too thick.
Yes.
Okay. Yes,
I mean,
it's quite late.
Didn't that guy's
You're-
note say something about a daughter?
Yes. It was bitten by... I have it right here
It
still.
was the daughter of the
She was
burgomaster.
bitten by the vampire.
The Burgermeister?
The crying is still going on ahead, and you hear now a shushing of someone else.
Okay, I'm going.
Yeah, I'd be going at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we better go see.
You guys see the wall is quite large. It goes around, broken as it goes through. You hear the noise coming from within this stable.
If Conareth is heading in, I'm going to cast guidance on him as he goes. Just as a precaution.
I was gonna say I wouldn't let him go in alone. I'd be going in right next to him.
Yeah,
He's taking very much the stance that my figurine is taking, where it'd just be like shield up front, weapon at the ready.
As you walk in, you're very aware of everything that's going on behind you. You see to your left side, in this corner, a young girl and a young boy crouched against the wall. The young girl shushing the little boy. She sees you and she kind of clutches him in fear.
Conareth has a moment of panic, realizing that these children are already afraid. Hearing voices in their head will probably not help that. And then he looks back at Onyx, and Onyx doesn't necessarily look all that friendly either. He kind of looks past Onyx to Hubert and kind of motions him over because right now Hubert's too far away to hear what Gunnerith has to say. He just slowly kind of steps out of the way and lets someone else come and deal with the situation.
I would probably instantly be like, "Oh, hello."
The little boy is clutching what looks like a doll that he's almost like clutching onto it as if it's a safety net. The little girl, who appears to be a few years older than him, shushes him, and then she's like, Can you help us?
Grace might kind of like walk for his light with his lantern and be like, "Children, what do you need? What is it?"
There's a monster in our house. We ran. We were told to run.
Is it a wolf?
I don't know. It just horrible screams coming from the basement. We aren't supposed to go in the basement though, so we just ran. You need to save Walter.
Who's Walter?
Our baby brother. We couldn't find him when we ran.
Yes, and he probably is a baby, can't fend for himself.
Where's your parents?
I don't know. We couldn't find them either. We think maybe the monster took them.
Were you sleeping?
Yeah, it woke us. The screams wake us.
Who told you to run?
Insight?
Yeah, you can roll me an insight. What are you looking for?
He's just kind of on edge. So it's not so much that he's specifically suspicious of the children, but he just is trying to discern into the situation. Like, does this seem normal? Are they being honest? Does something seem off? Like, it's almost more just paranoia setting in than logic.
Yeah.
Feel free to roll me an insight. Herbert, as far as your question, you believe that these children are fully terrified and you are like feeling ready to defend their honor and save their little brother single-handedly. Herbert, she kind of looks at you and she's like, "We're just told if we ever had something in the basement to run.
The
Parents
basement?
don't let us go in the basement."
Why not?
I don't know. We've never been allowed to go to the basement.
Was it just your parents and your baby brother in the house when this happened, or was there any servants or guests as well?
Margaret's in there. I didn't see her. She's our nursemaid, and then my uncle and mommy and daddy. But I think they have some friends, but we don't see them too often.
I'm not normally the jump into action kind of person, but these children are telling us that a potential baby is at risk of a monster. I feel like maybe haste is our best option.
Yes.
And he's already kind of moving toward, like, shakily so. Like, you can see his legs are shaking a little bit through his cloak.
Yes, well, it's not necessarily wise to just jump in blindly with the situation. I don't know if we can afford too much time.
And where is your house?
She points
Right over there.
kind of over this direction, obviously pointing through the wall. She's like, "It's the really big building in the back."
All right. And how long ago was this? Have you been out here long?
No.
All
Maybe
right.
10 minutes?
Do they look well clothed? Are they farmers' kids? Like,
They look like they are wearing more so the clothes of nobility. They are wearing nicer clothing.
okay. And do we notice any like marks on them, like they've been injured?
No,
Okay.
you do not.
Before we leave, what's your name so we can call out to you when it's all safe?
I'm Rose. This is Thorn.
Rosenthorn. Fitting name. Well, Rosenthorn, we will go see what we can do. We will try and find your brother for you.
Thank you. We're going to wait here. We're trying to stay away from the house.
That is smart. Wait here. If anything comes, but that's not us, then continue running. But stay on the road if you leave.
Alright, they did point to the big house in the back, and that's a big house.
It is quite large. There's many estates like this in Waterdeep.
As we get up to the door, Graves, because we're kind of taking the lead here, you feel a hand on your shoulder, as Quinarith reaches over and puts his hand on your shoulder and says, just keep your wits about you, eh? And you get Vigilant Blessing.
Ooh, very nice.
Is advantage to your next initiative roll.
Graves will give him a nod. But all right.
And what was the baby's
How
name
long
again?
does that last? The baby's name was
Walter.
Wow.
Until he rolls initiative, or until I put it on someone else. So it's basically like I can use it before every combat as long as I am aware of the concept of a combat coming up. There's no cost to switch it for different people. But I mean, once everyone rolls initiative, that's it. I can't cast it then. So
I assume Graves would kind of feel some sort of blessing, be like, thank you, my friend. You look over to her and be like, Herbert, you know about making things and such. What do you make of this door? Does it look...
Oh.
Do you suspect that it's just a bright ordinary door we can go through?
I will
Locks.
take a look. Does it look locked, or it's got a big keyhole in it, so I can only assume it would be locked.
You can tell that it has the option to be locked without actually testing it. You don't know if it's locked or not.
I don't see any reason for it to be trapped, so I'll try it.
Okay. It is unlocked, and it releases a shriek as it opens.
Ooh.
You see that there are chained lanterns flanking each side. Oak wooden doors lie ahead of you.
I don't expect that there's anywhere that we've gone in the last few hours that there hasn't been something aware of our presence. I don't imagine it's any different here.
I would have been inclined to agree.
Quinarith tries the main door.
If it's chasing us, then it's not chasing the child.
And you can right click to open it.
Okay, I was gonna say I've been trying to do that, but maybe that's.
As the door opens ahead of you, you see about 15 by 10 foot room with 8-foot high ceilings. In each corner, there's oil lamps that leave a red hue. Hanging on the south wall of the foyer, there you see a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms. It is a stylized golden windmill on a red field. The shield is flanked by rows of framed portraits of stony-faced aristocrats, long dead members of the assumed family. Mahogany-framed double doors leading from the foyer to the main hall are set with panes of stained glass. As you guys are looking, you do see the following image. This is the family crest that you see on the shield. I've shared it into the handouts. You guys are wasting no time and are desperately wanting to open the door ahead of you, as I've been getting multiple people attempting to open it. You guys push against the stained glass windows, opening up into a large area. Okay. You guys walk into a wide hall that seems to run the width of the house, with a black marble fireplace at one end with a blazing fire lighting the room. There's 4 doors scattered around the room and a sweeping red marble staircase at the other end of the hall. Mounted on the wall above the fireplace is a longsword. The wood-paneled walls are ornately sculpted with images of vines, flowers, nymphs, and satyrs. The decorative paneling follows the staircase as it circles upward to the second floor.
Graves will probably look over towards Herbert once again and be like, well, you seem to be more accustomed with large manors and such than I. Any idea which way to go?
Well, this situation is quite irregular. I would suspect we need to just keep our wits about us, search for any signs of any life or movement.
Onyx, as you approach that door that you attempted to open, you hear the sounds of conversation inside, like conversation and silverware clinking. Do you open the door still?
I would probably have my hand on the handle and turn back to the others. And, guys, there's people behind this door.
It might be The parents or the Margaret maid woman.
Exactly, but why have they not fled if there were screams?
Oh, are they trapped, or
They-
what are they doing?
Are they hiding? Do
I-
they barricade themselves in?
Don't know, I haven't tried to open the door yet. I wanted you guys to know that there are people behind this door. And I will try to open the door.
The sound of voices and cutlery cease as soon as the door opens.
I will call out immediately. Hello?
The silence answers you back.
We heard you.
Inside, you see that there is a dining table ahead, and you see no one sitting at this table from what you can see. The ticking of the grandfather clock continuously filling in the silence.
We met the children who were concerned, and we're here to check it out. We mean you no harm.
Oh,
Inside, you find a large room lit by a fireplace and a crystal chandelier hanging over a banquet table. The far wall features carved paneling with deer among trees. There's a beautiful painting above the fireplace of an alpine vale. On the opposite wall, there's a tapestry depicting hunting dogs and horse-mounted aristocrats chasing after a wolf. The large mahogany table is surrounded by 8 high-backed chairs with sculpted armrests and cushioned seats. The table itself is covered with resplendent silverware and crystalware, polished all to a dazzling shine. Only the place settings are empty. The center of the table is weighed down with a magnificent feast.
Are like all the cutlery where they're like set up ready for a feast and not like strewn across the table?
Correct. It's all set
Oh my
in
God,
place
it's so
settings.
dark.
Silverware is clean. The plates are clean. Doesn't look like anything's been eaten, but all the food is set up as if it's ready for a huge feast to take place any moment.
I heard talking and I heard cutlery.
Well,
I
if
mean,
all this
perhaps-
strangeness has been happening, I don't doubt you.
Now do you believe me about the wolf?
Or maybe my
Oh.
paranoia is starting to set in. You're infecting me!
I refuse to believe that I could be addled so easily.
So easily?
Well, I suppose you do have a point. This is quite unusual.
Are you opening up a door, Conerith? I'm sorry, I don't see what you are trying to interact with.
I'm just
Oh.
looking to open the door at the other end.
Oh, okay.
He's just kind of walking over and sees that it looks like it heads back in the direction of the hall. And he
Yeah.
noticed that the hall branched off before, so he's just assuming it heads back.
You do open it, and you do see that it does lead into the hall before it does connect back through.
Onyx, you're the only one that hears this. It looks like there's another door that just heads back into the hall. Another branching path as well.
Well, at least we know we won't get flanked on this side.
Graves would probably like to take a closer look around. He sees over here where he's at. I don't know if it's just the terrain itself, but it looks almost like a cot set up.
There is a cot. It appears that it might have been like a servant's bed or something set up to
Mhm.
be ready in the event that something happened in the middle of the night and they need to be more available. Above the cot, though, you do see the tapestry depicting the hunting dogs and the horse-mounted aristocrats. Can you roll me a perception check?
Perception. 10.
As you're looking through, you see the tapestry ahead of you, and you are looking a bit closer, and you see that within there, it appears that the aristocrats' clothing, what appeared to be red, is actually its blood painted upon their clothing.
Friends, come look at this tapestry.
It's part of the tapestry, or it was painted onto the tapestry?
It is part of the tapestry, like it was created to be that way. At first glance, it just looks like they are wearing red clothing, but in fact, it's actually stained with blood.
Yeah. Graves would at first glance, you can see the clothing on these people in the tapestry looks red, but if you look closely, It's actually blood.
I don't
I would
like
imagine-
this place, and I don't
would
like
imagine.
this.
So I would imagine that these aristocrats in this tapestry are likely meant to be the ones whose manner this is. Seeing them stained in blood does not bode well.
Investigating the food just to
Okay.
see if, like, I'm not gonna eat any of it, but I want to try to determine if it's edible and stuff.
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
What sort of lord and lady would allow tapestry that depicts them covered in blood in their own home?
Unless they're the ones who painted it red.
You can't tell how long the food has been here. It does look like it's very good food based on what you can tell. But aside from that, it looks nice. You don't know if it would necessarily taste good.
I don't trust it. I'm turning up my nose, but it's very curious.
I suppose if this area has a history of vampire, then perhaps it's a bloody history. Maybe it's a metaphor. Hopefully the people that live in these houses aren't descendants or somehow attached to the vampire themselves.
Well, we still have a baby to find.
Yes.
Have we heard any crying or screaming or anything?
You have not. Great. There is one other thing. With noticing the pet tapestry, you do look and you do see that there is the wood paneling as well along this back wall. I had mentioned it in the first room description, but I didn't know if you want to look at it further. Or if you would
Yeah, I'll
like
have a quick look, see if there's any more clues or like
to roll me another
if it's
wisdom.
like a false wall or something. The perception?
Yes.
Come on, give me a good roll this time. Yo,
Hey.
22.
Okay. So this one, it
That's a
had
good roll.
originally, when you look at it, it has deer among trees in a wooded vale. As you look closer, you see that all of the trees appear to have twisted faces carved into them. And in the background, there are wolves lurking among the carved foliage.
Well, the people here seem to know about the wolves in the forest as well, even in this depiction here, but even the trees have twisted faces here. I mean, it felt like something was watching us. Whether that means that literally the trees are watching us or that's just meant to be a metaphor, I'm not sure, but seems like the people here might have more of an idea of what's going on.
You see Onyx clutch the amulet around his neck and just kind of close his eyes briefly and mutter something that you can't make out. It was more to himself.
Are we hearing footsteps right now?
You are not, but
Oh.
as you step forward, Conerith, this door swings open, and a gust of wind blows through, blowing out the torches.
That's...
The lantern
Oh, no.
remains lit, but all of your torches go out. And that's where we're going to take a bio break, and we'll return shortly. I believe we'll be about 5-10 minutes.
Alright, we'll see you all shortly. So we
Here
are
we go.
back. Woohoo!
This door swings open, it blows past the three of you, blowing out the torches that were open. The casing around Graves' lantern is able to protect it from it, but the rest of them, the sudden gust of wind does blow them out. The door slowly swings shut, not really giving any indication other than the wind as to what forced it open.
Are the torches on the wall still lit as well?
The torches on the wall, yes, they are.
I would turn and light my torch off the wall.
Okay, it lights back up.
Should we check this door right here before we continue?
I don't like it when doors open by themselves, guys.
Knerith is just going to gingerly reach his hand out and try the door.
The door pushes open without resistance. As you look ahead of you, you see that there is a kitchen. The kitchen is tidy with dishware, cookware, and utensils neatly placed all along the shelves, A work table has a cutting board and a rolling pin on top of it. A stone dome-shaped oven stands near the east wall. Its bent iron stovepipe connecting to a hole in the ceiling. Behind the stove and to the left is a thin door. There is also a small door at waist height over on the west wall. And that is this door here at waist height.
Garen has a guess about that, but I don't think Graves would have any idea being from a tiny town.
Great place for an ambush.
Mm-hmm.
And I would try to open that door.
Okay. As you open it, you see ahead of you that it looks like a small compartment. It's about 2 feet wide, and it looks like it has just a box with cabling connected to the top of it, going to the floor above. There is a tiny brass bell to the right side that appears that it is connected to a rope throughout the building. I believe my camera just disconnected.
Oh, yeah, it looks like you're frozen.
Okay. I will avoid clicking it so we don't run into the crash. You for your patience with our technical difficulties. Unfortunately, the computer that was running the stream crashed, so we were able to get that back up, and the full stream should be running here soon. The last thing that had been happening was Onyx had just opened up a small area that is a dumbwaiter, though he does not know yet that what it is truly, as he hasn't really spent too much time in manors or houses of nobility.
Nope, none at all.
Herbert, you would recognize this.
Oh, that's a useful contraption. It's a dumb waiter. You can use it to shuffle things between floors in the manor. It's easier than going around and finding a staircase and
Well, that seems like smart. So why isn't it called a smart waiter?
Oh, it's because the word dumb actually refers to the fact that you can't speak. So it's like a waiter that just takes your, dirty
Oh,
dishes
like
and
as this
just walks
waiter
off with
doesn't
them.
talk.
Yes.
Now, for the antisocial one, that would be quite a good thing.
Not only Conerith, but Cole has learned something new just now. Because I never knew what that was.
Conerith, as you go to the back door, you open it up and you see in there what appears to be a well-stocked pantry. Most of the food in there is just what you would typically see in a pantry. Wheels of cheese, cask of wine, flour, the basics to pretty much make everything from just simple breakfast to a large feast.
Conerith kind of says openly to those within range, which the only one at this point is Graves. Nothing to see here, but just a bunch of fancy food.
That would make sense being off from the kitchen. That dumb waiter you said, right, Herbert? That was the term?
That's correct, yes.
Yes. But unfortunately, it looks a little too small to carry us, because that could be a quick way to find the other floors. But I don't know if I would try and cram all of us into such a small space. I don't know if I'd try and cram one of us into such a small space.
Oh, yes.
Looking at it, you think that you would have to be probably about the size of a halfling to fit in there.
Now, that could be quite fun for the child that lives in this manor.
Conerith, I got a notification. What were you trying to open up or react?
I was just going to close the door back up. Basically, like, nothing to see here. Closes it up.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't tell me what door you're
okay.
trying to open. It just says, hey, so-and-so is trying to open a door.
Oh, so you just assume.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of picture it, though, like Conerith opens it up and sees some, like, incredibly creepy thing in there, like, munching away at the food, and it just looks up at Conerith, and he's like, yeah, there's nothing in here, guys, and just closes the door.
One of my favorite scenes in Batman the Animated Series is when a frickin' thug opens up a door and there's just Batman in there, and they just make eye contact, and then the thug closes the door, and was there anything in there? He's like, no.
Yeah.
Didn't see anything, boss.
Like,
Not paid enough for this.
We need to go to the basement, right? To figure out what the screams were?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Conerith has found another door.
Onyx, you would hear Herbert could hear it as well within his range. I don't think we'll be finding the child in the basement, though, because as my understanding is that's where the monster is.
That is true, but if we can defeat the monster, then the child is safe, is he not?
We could take the child and leave.
Yes, a child that young shouldn't be left alone.
You open this door and you just see that it's a small cloakroom. It has several black cloaks hanging from hooks, and on the high shelf appears to be a top hat.
Gary in love.
The Thaddeus and me just is struggling.
I haven't really mentioned it a lot, but Herbert is wearing a top hat like this whole time.
That is
his figure
true.
was
With like
wearing
the
a top hat.
goggles.
Yeah, it's got goggles
To
on
be
it.
fair, I used to wear a top hat and goggles like on the regular.
Nice.
Cole and my wife could both probably attest to that.
Mhm.
Well, there's another door over here.
Okay, so
Right.
was someone opening this door? I thought I saw a notification, but then it disappeared.
Graves walked over to it and mentioned it. I did not try to open it, though.
You guys see a wood paneled door ahead of you. Onyx goes to open it. You open the door
Uh-oh.
and you see
Oh,
a dire wolf ahead of you.
Close the door, close the
Yeah,
door.
I immediately... Nope!
What do you do?
Immediately backtrack and slam the door.
Okay, you slam the door.
Yeah.
It did not move.
Was that the wolf in there again?
What didn't move, the door or the dire wolf?
The dire wolf didn't move.
Oh, okay.
I will... Like,
What
peek...
what's
like,
up, Onyx?
There's a large wolf in there, but it didn't move. So I'm gonna slowly, like, open the door and just peek around the corner, like, half my face around the corner of the door, and kind of scan in the room.
Okay, so as you open up the door, you see that the wolf is now closer. But it continues to remain stationary. Roll me a perception check.
Oh, we got weeping angels.
oh God.
That's exactly what I thought.
Don't blink, anybody.
Alright, you said perception?
Yes.
Give me a second. Perception.
Coming out swinging hard.
Nope. Nope.
I mean, if this is basically Weeping Angels, that's pretty lit, but also pretty freaking terrifying.
You are freaking terrified and you're like holding your sword out ready. You notice that this wolf is not even reacting to you and realize it's stuffed.
Then how the fuck did it get closer?
I don't trust it.
I just take my warhammer and try to hit it against the far wall, like swing for the fences.
So you're hitting the wall?
No, hitting the wolf. So like
Oh, the wolf.
trying to take the wolf and act like it's a stuffed animal and smacking it across the room with my warhammer.
Okay, roll me damage because you auto crit.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's one-handed I need. Or that's two-handed. I need one-handed. I don't like the drag on this because it doesn't react. Son of...
Minimum damage.
But you crit,
and you
right?
auto
Auto
crit,
crit,
so
though.
you do have a full 8 on top of that. So you roll
Yeah.
10 damage. So
Oh,
you hit it, and it flies back, and is
Yeah.
knocked onto its side.
And do I see
Knocked
the
off.
Whatever.
other one?
You do see another one to your left. This one is also stuffed. So now at this point, you guys see a square room about 20 by 20 feet, and it lies before you. There's a fireplace over on the south wall. There are 2 windows on the west wall. This oak paneled room looks like a hunter's den. Mounted above the fireplace is a stag's head, and positioned around the outskirts of the room are 3 stuffed wolves. 2 padded chairs draped in animal furs face the hearth. With an oak table between them supporting a cask of wine, 2 carved wooden goblets, a pipe rack, and a candelabrum. The chandelier hangs above a cloth-covered table surrounded by 4 chairs. 2 cabinets stand against the walls.
I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame at the wolf.
Okay?
I still don't trust this.
What's happening in there?
It fails its save. and you deal damage to it.
I want to burn it up. Like that's my goal.
Okay, yeah.
So from our perspective, Onyx is just going in there, swinging and firing off spells.
Onyx, what are you doing?
I swear it moved. I swear it moved.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not moving now. What?
It moved, and I cast it again on the burnt ashes.
And it kind of burns to nothingness. You see the other 2 stuffed wolves around the room.
I'm gonna very closely look at this wolf and try to examine it. I'm just like checking for anything unusual. Maybe like I don't know probably the first thing about taxidermy necessarily, but I know how things are put together. So
yeah,
trying to figure out if there's something weird going on here.
Yeah, roll me a investigation check. What were you saying, Graves?
As he does that, Graves will kind of hold up his lantern towards his eyes, which suddenly, once again, have the holy symbol of Pharasma will slightly flash in his eyes, as I'm going to use my eyes of the grave to see if there are any undead within 60 feet of me.
Heck yeah.
If they're on the other side of a wall or something, I don't see them.
You do not sense any undead.
All right. Well, these things are not undead, I can tell you that.
Oh, well, I got an 11.
You look at it, and it doesn't appear to have any mechanical ability. You even go to move its leg, and its leg is stiff, like a taxidermied animal would be. Doesn't appear that these things have moved in quite some time.
Very, very unusual.
I know we've been seeing some strange things here, but I think, Onyx, you might be getting a little bit more paranoid with wolves.
So far, he's been hearing people eating dinner even though there wasn't anyone there. He's shooting at taxidermy wolves.
I know what I saw.
I mean, I believe you. I just, I don't see any sense in it. So let's just keep our bearings and try not to make too much of an impact here. Perhaps if we are able to rescue this child, the owner of this estate will be indebted to us. But we should probably keep looking.
What I've gathered about the people of this estate, I imagine Rose and Thorn's mother and father, I'm not entirely sure if I trust them. I might trust the children more so than being children. We'll have to see.
Fine. Whatever. And I walk out of the room. Nope. You be in the room with the crazy wolves, stuffed wolves.
Before we leave the room, however, let's have a just check over here by the fireplace, see if there's anything of note.
As I walk out of the room, I'll even close the door behind me. Screw 'em.
Oh. This is another, closet or something?
Those are cabinets.
Cabinets.
Okay.
Yes, there was the cabinet here and the cabinet here.
Ah.
Hey, Graves would like to look around the fireplace kind of area with the little sitting area, see if there's anything to find or of note in this area.
Onyx closed the door on you guys. You were looking in what area, Graves? You were looking on that center table?
Around the chairs and stuff too, but the sitting area.
You do not see anything of note. You just see that there is a pipe, as was said before, a wooden goblet, a pipe rack, a candelabrum. Other than that, it just looks like it's a general sitting room, for people to have a conversation next to the warm fire.
Benerith sees Onyx pacing and just muttering to himself, "Get your shit together. This is nothing. You're freaking out over nothing. You've been worse places."
Conerath out there with him is just I wouldn't say there's anything to be ashamed of. It's just as likely that strange things are happening here as it is likely that you are losing your mind, because nothing has been making sense since we made our way through those gates.
Herbert, was that you that wanted to open the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm opening the cabinets, checking inside.
You open that cabinet, and inside, you see that it is unlocked. This one holds a heavy crossbow, a light crossbow, a hand crossbow, and 20 bolts for each weapon.
Oh, I think I might just grab this heavy crossbow just in case.
Okay.
I'm familiar with that weapon.
Okay. And do you take the bolts, I'm guessing, too?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. You now have a heavy crossbow with 20 bolts for it.
Awesome. I'll say that there's armaments in here if you need anything. Ranged weaponry. Oh,
I think I am good at the moment. I'm trying to target the door to open it.
This one here.
Try to open like the door to get out.
Okay.
I'm checking the cabinet too.
So
Yeah, that
as you
cabinet.
go to open the cabinet, this one is locked.
Oh. I don't know.
Mm.
Perhaps there's something important in
That's
this one.
intriguing.
This one's locked.
Oh,
Open the door,
we
though,
should-
just in case. Oh, look, we're still alive.
Onyx is just pacing.
Canaris just kind of like nervously watching him go back and forth. Like he's uncomfortable with the situation.
well, Garion's like, it's locked. That means there's good loot. This is a dungeon. Conair's
Okay.
like, this is somebody's house.
So are you guys
Wait.
going to try and unlock it, or are you leaving it?
Did you say it was locked to us?
It
I
is
did.
locked.
I
Yes.
mentioned it, yes.
Oh.
Hey, there's a locked cabinet in there, and also an unlocked one with some armaments, like this one. Yeah, I'll have the heavy crossbow up and sling it over my shoulder.
Onyx would quickly close the door to the room. Now that we're all out here, I'm gonna wait like 10 seconds, and then I'll open it again and peer around to see if the wolf has moved.
You see two wolves now.
I'm
close
not
to the
making
door.
this shit up! They moved! I'm out!
I can concur. They will not in that position
Yep.
before.
That's
All right.
definitely... Yep.
All right,
Oh,
let's
boy.
burn them. And I will begin sacred flaming them as well as I just reach for the flame of my lantern and it kind of just pulls off into my hand and unleash it upon these taxidermy wolves.
Okay, it only takes a few sacred flames to kind of put these things to dust.
They were fine.
curious
They're just stuffed. Yeah.
I mean, they're clearly stuffed, but there's something else going on.
Well, now they are ash. Burned in the holy flames of our gods.
I just like the image of you guys opening that door and then just like just throwing flame.
Well, let's see
Left,
what they
right,
were
center,
guarding. And I take out my thieves' tools.
Aha!
And
So
I
roll me a dexterity check with
One of us can
proficiency.
do
Or are
that.
you proficient in thief tools?
am, yes.
Okay, roll me a
Aha!
dexterity check with your proficiency.
Who needs a rogue when you have 4 clerics?
I see him leaning in there, and I'll give you the guidance. So you can add a d4 to that roll.
So we're gonna add 2 plus another d4. So here's the d4 first. There's my dexterity.
It was a 19. I saw
that.
it hit a 19 and then bounce.
I'm constantly just looking over my shoulder for another stuffed freaking wolf, and I'm not paying attention to the door. I'm too messed up that freaking stuffed animals are moving around in this house.
As you are trying to pick the lock, you feel like some of the mechanisms kind of get stuck and you have to pull your lockpick out. And you try opening the door and it feels like it's lock solid. You can't really get it open now.
Ooh.
I tried, guys. I don't like this
Oh,
room.
is it broken? I can fix it.
It may be. It was, the tumblers weren't moving, and honestly, that room just gives me how does this room not give you the heebie-jeebies?
Oh, this is very unusual, but I've sort of reached
I
an
mean, the whole
equilibrium.
building kind of does.
Like, I'm just so scared that I just can't be any more scared. So it's just like, yeah. Well, I'll cast mending if I have time. It takes a minute.
Yeah, if you want to spend a minute casting mending, you can do that.
How quickly have we been moving through here so far?
You guys have been taking your time.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what types of gods that you guys worship that this is normal, but I don't like this.
I mean, we already established that my
Yeah, we know
my
you're
goddess
crazy.
is the god of death.
We know you're crazy. I got that.
Hey, death is not inherently evil. Death is a natural part of life. And so is new life.
True.
It's all part of the cycle. But yes, Pharasma's worshippers do tend to be a more grim lot. I will give you that.
So, yeah, you can spend a minute mending. As you put your hand against it, you hear the clicking of metal as you hear the pins moving back into place.
I heard something. You
Seems
must
to be
have
working
done
fine.
something right.
yes, when there's complicated problems that need to be solved very quickly, a simple bit of magic that I've been blessed with appears to do the trick most of the time.
You are,
Aye.
as far as I'm aware, the first clergyman of God that I have encountered. And I must say, you appear to be a very useful group to have around.
Well, yeah, you always need things, and things break, and that's kind of the way the world
Yes.
works, I suppose.
Yes, you have my respect.
Oh, thank you.
Now let's see if we can actually get into the door now that it's fixed.
Would you like to try again there, Onyx, or perhaps someone else could take a try? I'm not particularly skilled at this sort of thing.
I instantly am troubled because I don't see Conerith.
Has
Clareth,
Corneth disappeared? Oh dear. Oh, this is not good. Oh boy. What? Let's. We need to find him.
Clareth.
Conerith is out of range to be able to speak with you.
Yeah, I get that, but like I was
Where's
out
he going?
here. Well, when I came back out from failing at the door, was he here?
Let's see, Conerith, did you mean to go where you are, or was it an accident?
Conerith was there when you had come out. He was overlooking at the stairs, and then he looked around and saw you guys fuddling around with the cabinet and just moved on.
Okay, I would have probably noticed that then, but still, like I was freaked out, and it was at that point where I'm like, no Conerith.
Yeah, it would have been at the point that Herbert was like, "Oh, well, I can fix that," and then decided to go back in. And Conerith was
waited
like,
a minute.
"Okay." So yeah, it was like your attention might have been drawn back to,
Yes.
"Oh, like maybe I can still open this."
Yeah.
Like he wasn't trying to be sneaky, but it just like he was too far away to
Wandered.
talk to you guys, and he was just like,
Okay.
All right, well, for opening this cabinet, do it very quick because our friend is gone.
Perhaps it would be best to wait.
We can always come back. This is near the entrance.
Conerith! I just
Are
start
you yelling?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Clareth.
Oh boy. Okay,
Conerith,
there we
you
go.
hear people yelling from below.
You come up to the top of the stairs, and you
That's
see
so-
Conerith.
I'm glad we found you, Conerith. I was a little concerned. I know you would start looking around. I didn't realize you had wandered that far.
Sorry to seem curt, but there's a child missing, and it just seemed more pertinent.
Oh,
And,
I understand.
Yeah.
As you guys come to the top, who has dark vision in the party?
Nope.
Conerith does.
Just Conerith.
I think it's
Conerith
just
is the
him.
only dark vision. Alright, so Conerith, at the top of the carpeted stairs, you see a second hall approximately 25 feet in length and has 12-foot high ceilings. There are oil lamps spread around the walls, but none are currently lit. Obviously, I needed to have some in here for you guys to have lighting of some kind. At the top of the stairs, there's a wooden door immediately to the right. The red marble staircase that started on the first floor continues its upward spiral. Deeper into the room, there are two sets of double doors on opposite sides of the hall. On each of these double doors are two suits of armor standing guard. Each suit of armor clutches a spear and has a visor helm shaped like a wolf's head.
All right. And even though I have dark vision, I can tell how dark it is in here,
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah, I follow the kind of the Forgotten Realms original dark vision. That's more like a thermal vision that you see black and white almost.
Yeah.
Noticing that's it is as dark as is in here. Like that downstairs is pretty well lit everywhere, but this seems a little bit different. Konerith.
So yeah, we do have my lantern, but I think that's all we have at the moment.
I had lit my
Konerith
torch again.
extends.
Right.
Konerith extends Eyes of the Night to his 3 compatriots.
Ooh.
Okay.
You can share your
So
ability?
all 3 of
Twilight
of you
Domain.
now have dark vision.
Oh!
It'll last
Good
for
use
1
of-
hour.
Man, like Twilight Domain is actually like crazy.
Well, and
Suddenly,
especially because he's the only one with dark vision, it's exceptionally useful.
Yeah, and it's like 300
Yeah.
foot dark vision, isn't it?
Yeah, 300 foot.
And that's just a level
It's not
1.
regular dark vision.
suddenly Onyx is just like rubbing his eyes, like, what just happened? My sight is different.
Oh, sorry.
no. I'm going blind. Wait, no, opposite
no,
of blind.
I just extended my vision onto you, so you should be able to see a little bit better in here.
Oh, thank you.
Well, that's awesome. So I see what you see?
I mean, you see through your own eyes. You can now probably see a little bit better, I imagine. I haven't
Yes.
not had the ability to see like this, so it's hard to comprehend.
Oh.
Okay,
yes.
Graves. You are opening up the door on your right. You see that there are dancing youths carved across it. Can you roll me a perception check really quick?
Yep.
There are what?
Dancing youths, like kids, carved across. Right?
10
Our
again.
rolls are amazing tonight.
I repeatedly am getting 10 on perception.
You don't really notice anything aside from it, and you're kind of more focused on opening the door.
Tailspire, why do you hate us so? Alright.
It's the odd good roll.
I would be interested, as he's doing that, to kind of read the plaque at the base of this armor.
That's more so within Tailspire. There's not actually like plaques. They're kind of just
Oh.
decorative pieces of metal around the base.
Okay, never mind then.
See, if Tailspire also hates the enemies, it's kind of nice because like all of my stuff is like saved on my enemy's part.
Right.
All right, let's see where this goes, friends.
Alright.
Is this a library, a study, something of the sort?
Oh, books. I like books.
Yes.
Okay, so as you enter into here,
Creepy dog statue thing. Nope, that's not a dog. It's like a goblin.
What?
What?
Up on top where the ladder like thing is, like right in front
the
of Onyx. If you
gargoyle,
look
I
at the
believe
top.
he's talking about.
I didn't have the layer up that high.
As you walk into this room,
Sorry.
red velvet drapes cover the windows of this room. An exquisite mahogany desk and a matching high-back chair face the entrance and the fireplace, above which hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. Situated in corners of the room are 2 overstuffed chairs. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line the south wall, and a rolling wooden ladder allows one to move more easily to reach the shelves. The painting I'm actually going to be sharing to the handouts so you guys can see it.
Oh?
And that is the windmill that you see portraited behind this mahogany desk.
Windmill again. Perhaps this family, they own this windmill, perhaps? Is this like their crowning
It seems to
achievement?
have-
maybe?
The crest that we saw in the entryway seemed to be a windmill as well.
Yes.
Perhaps they have some sort of threshing empire. Monopoly on the wheat and flour.
Well, it can be quite useful in a small communities. So I
Do you
once
see
drew up
any
some
books right
designs
off that
for
seem to have any that would be of importance to us at the moment?
If you look, roll me a perception check if anyone's searching for the books.
Yeah. I'm just doing like a quick perusal. Wouldn't be like full on investigator or anything like that.
As you do a quick perusal, you do
7.
see that there's topics including history, warfare, alchemy, kind of just a hodgepodge of different topics throughout. You do see that some of these are very old, and you can't tell, but you believe that they would be valuable in some way.
Onyx here. Thanks for coming with me.
Of course. I understand. We do need to find this child before it's too late.
Nothing
Okay,
of note in here. Let's keep going.
Perhaps they'll be more useful later if we need to.
Yes, I just wanted to see if there was anything that would give us a direct clue on the layout of the house or anything.
So I'm going to follow Konereth and Onyx momentarily. Oh, it looks like you guys came over
Yeah, they
as
came
well.
out.
Yeah, so I wasn't like
Yeah.
scrolling through all the books or anything. I would just like quick look, see if I could like see if there was like say like something that was like here's the layout of the house or anything like that. Like from like a quick like 10
You
second
don't see
result.
anything on the bookshelves, but
Yeah,
you
they go
didn't
right
look elsewhere.
Yeah, so I was just doing like a quick like look as I walked past kind of thing.
Okay.
I wasn't planning to stay long.
Konereth, you open up this door, and ahead of you, you see a wide room. Gossamer drapes cover the windows of this elegantly appointed hall, which has a brass-plated chandelier hanging from the ceiling, upholstered chairs lining the walls, and stained glass wall hangings depict beautiful women and children singing and playing instruments. A piano with a bench rests in the northwest corner. Near the fireplace is a large standing harp. Alabaster figurines of well-dressed dancers adorn the mantelpiece.
Would either of you consider calling out the child's name? Maybe he's hiding somewhere. It's possible
we
we
could
just haven't
try.
found him yet, but
Sure. Walter!
Walter! He might be too young to really respond other than crying, but it couldn't hurt. Walter!
Do you want to meet a robot?
As you guys are yelling, you do hear a scuffling come from beneath the piano.
Oh,
Oh,
over there. Is it the child?
do you want to roll or am I just kind of peeking?
No, if you could just peeking. Let's see. As you look underneath there, I will need you to move your character back a bit.
He's looking under.
As you are looking under there, you see a small, rail-thin, starving, and terrified dog hiding underneath the piano.
What is it? Is it the child?
Probably.
Canine.
Like the ones from earlier? Or?
No, this one doesn't look dangerous.
Yeah. Let's see if it'll come on out. Grays will kind of kneel down and do like, hello, guy. Come on. That's not Gray's voice at all, you know. Just kind of a little like, come here, doggy type thing.
Okay, roll
Looks
me an
hungry.
animal handling check.
Animal handling. I actually got it not too bad at that.
Either.
Not amazing, but not bad.
I got a +3.
Same. I don't know what happened to my die. Is it rolling? Another 10. It keeps being like, you get 7 plus 3. Almost every roll.
Okay,
Wow.
now I want to preface, Tailspire right now only has one canine token, so he does not look as ferocious as he appears here.
It's another one!
I did mark it blue
Yeah,
to indicate like this is a friendly animal. So you see this like rail thin dog, kind of shaggy, slowly crawl out from underneath the table, and he sniffs towards your hand and licks it slightly.
Hello there, little boy. Are you alright?
The dog licks your hand, pants, and when he breathes out, you can tell it's probably been a while since this dog has eaten or drank anything.
I don't think I have any food or anything on me. I see it. Maybe I have.
You have rations?
I do have
Yeah,
a ration.
we should all
I'll
have
give that
rations.
dog my rations. Here you go, boy. Do you know where Walter is, boy?
He immediately starts like eating it and like scarfs it down greedily and wags his tail as he's going along.
All right, Walter.
Oh.
Do you know where Walter is, boy?
He kind of cocks his head and looks at you confused. You do see that he is wearing a collar, however, when he cocks his head.
All right, I will look at the collar.
As you move the collar around, you see that there is a tag on there, and it has what you would assume is his name. It just says Lancelot.
Lancelot, where are your masters, boy? Take us to them.
Lancelot,
Mother, father, mom and dad, whatever you call them.
he's just kind of staying close to you, and he's wagging his tail. it does not appear that this dog has necessarily been trained in any way.
All right. Well, I don't think he's going to necessarily help us find anybody, but well, he might get excited if we get closer to them.
Does the dog's tag have any other information besides that?
It does not. Now that the dog has become friendly with Graves, the dog is free about you guys going near it as well.
I'll offer some water as well as half of an extra ration.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to drink the water as you give it to him. I'm guessing you just kind of pour it from your water skin.
Yeah, just try to just pour it in his mouth. Wet the whistle a little bit. I don't have a dog bowl.
His wagging tail increases in speed. He is quite excited about getting water.
As we finish him water, Grace will be like, "All right, come here, Lancelot. Let's go find your masters."
And these are just plain windows, right?
Correct.
Curious
All right.
thought process.
Alright. Come on, Lancelot.
Does
That
it
is
not
your name.
seem strange that this dog would be under as much famine as it is? As if it's collared, then that would imply that it is a pet and not just an animal that normally would be left outside in the barn.
And yet Rose and Thorn told us that it had only been about 10 minutes since they had ran from the house. Judging from the state of this dog, either it was neglected by the family or it has been considerably longer than that.
What are the odds that something has happened like this as we were just wandering down the road?
I don't think there's anything else on this floor. Was there any other doors that we haven't gone through or anything?
There is
one
the
more
door here.
There is a door.
And then there was also that was the only door that you had seen in there.
All right, we have one more door on this floor. Oh, I'm way over there. I thought it was there.
Okay.
Let's try this
I
last
would
door.
probably just peek my head up the stairs.
Okay. As you open the door, you see a small undecorated room is immediately off the stairs. There's a pair of beds with straw stuffed mattresses. There are foot lockers at the end of each bed. There is a door to the left and a small waist-high door on the other side of the room, matching the kitchen below.
Done with. Could this be the children's room?
Roll me a perception check. Or insight check, sorry.
Insight. 22 on my insight.
You do not believe that this is the children's room. It looks like there were adults that slept here.
All right, this appears to be a servant's room. There's a door closet, I imagine.
As you open that door, Conerith, you see that it contains tidy servants' uniforms on hooks there as well.
Still no child.
And this appears to be the dumbwaiter, at least another stop for the dumbwaiter.
Yes,
here?
and there is a button next to this one.
Very well.
All right, well, third floor.
Howdy ho.
Okay. I need you guys to pause for a moment so I can make sure. Okay. Onyx, can you back up a bit?
Yep.
Over to here. I wasn't
Oh.
able to,
Okay, my bad.
because I'm going to be unhiding stuff.
Oh, okay. Trying to adjust the camera.
Onyx, you were walking forward and you were standing here, correct?
Yeah, I wanted to
Okay.
approach the
Pause.
doors. Yeah.
As you walk forward, this suit of armor suddenly moves
Oh.
Oh no.
and
Oh.
attacks you.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh,
look out!
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
I will need to
Dang.
remember for next time that I have advantage on my initiative.
Stuffed animals and freaking statues or suits of armor. What is it with this inanimate shit? I hate this.
I want to
house.
say, again, apologize for some of the technical difficulties we had as we were going along. For the algorithms, if you guys could help us out by liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you want to comment, I mentioned earlier one of my favorite scenes from Batman the Animated Series. What's your favorite scene from either DC or Marvel? And we'll do that as a possible thing to just see in the comments, see what you guys like in there. But I hope you guys have a great night, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.